On today's episode of Kult America, we're going to check out Chernobyl Ukraine. On the 26th of April 1986, the world faced one of the worst man-made disasters in history, nuclear meltdown in Chernobyl Ukraine. 3 decades later, the location where things transpired became somewhat mythical, oddly attracting thousands of tourists. I couldn't help but wonder, what would inspire healthy people to visit a toxic wasteland? Logically, with hundreds of thousands of people still suffering from the effects of radiation today, any sane person would stay clear of this zone. Well, for some people, myself included, logic is apparently not an end-all in decision-making. So I bought a tour, caught a plane, and went to see what motivated these toxic tourists with my own eyes. Alright, so it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're catching a tour group to Chernobyl, Ukraine. So the bus loaded up with people who initially had more questions about tea and rest breaks than the trip to Chernobyl.
And a few other things. So our plan is to stop at the petrol station in half an hour, maybe 40 minutes.
The tour guide gave us some basic rules. Don't touch anything, don't sit on anything, don't rub against anything, and avoid picking up radioactive dust. Oh yeah, and don't eat any food from the exclusion zone. I thought that one was funny because it seems so obvious. So the tour guide told us that we can all get out and take some pictures of the sign that says we're entering a radioactive place. The rules were simple enough and probably worth obeying not to come down with a bad case of terminal cancer. After passing through control, we visited a village which was inhabited by one resettler. Everyone immediately started taking pictures of everything. We didn't care to take in the sights of a nuclear wasteland, we just wanted to take pictures. Later on, we met this sole resettler who lives in the abandoned village. We were all chilling at the resettler's house when she insisted that everyone eat some apples and play with her dogs. I took a pass on both of those things, but almost everyone else in the group started eating and petting. Their lack of regard for these basic rules given to us by the guard really showed how naive and vulnerable tourists are. And again, I'm just as bad, because even if I didn't eat the apples or play with the dog, I was there. We continued driving around the zone, which really gave me a sense for the place, approximately the size of Luxembourg in fact. The nature there was so beautiful that at moments it was easy to forget where I was. Next, we visited an abandoned school. This was the first place I saw a radioactive sign, and from what I read online, when you see one of those signs in the exclusion zone, it's not a joke. You need to stay the hell away. Yet we all got out our Geiger counters and our cameras and headed over to the sign to get a good shot of ourselves near some radioactive dust. And by the way, the same thing happened when we visited the Red Forest, one of the most contaminated areas of the zone. Though to be honest, I chickened out and went back to the van. When I asked the guide what would happen if I rolled around in that dust, he simply said, "You'd be fucked." We got done taking pictures and headed to the reactor. So we got to the reactor and started taking selfies again. We photographed the broken power plant, we took group pictures, and we fed some catfish, but we never really took in the gravity of the situation. This thing is responsible for the death of thousands of people. It's pouring out a lot of radiation, and we're just all here snapping pictures. My Geiger counter's alarm kept going off, and then it dawned on me that alarm was my signal to leave, yet I kept ignoring it. I just walked closer to the reactor. I went as close as I could go. What kind of twisted tourism was this? Seriously, if we don't take the sight of a radioactive disaster seriously, how could we ever truly address pending problems like global warming, war, poverty? I guess we don't. We just take pictures. Finally, it was time for the main attraction, Pripyat, the legendary ghost town near Chernobyl. When we arrived, we took pictures, we took videos, we took selfies. I took a video of myself taking a selfie, and people pet another stray dog. And I was again disturbed by the fact that none of us offered this place the magnitude it deserved.
This place is completely overwhelming and beautiful and destroyed. Wow.
At the end of the tour, we went to climb a 16-story building to take in a rooftop view of the city. On the way up, the guy in front of me kicked over a board, and the board fell at face level of another man who was ascending the lower set of stairs. What happened next was terrifying. A huge puff of dust blew directly into the tourist's eyes, mouth, nose, face, and hair. I failed to catch this on video, but trust me, the people who saw it happen were terrified. Dust is not what you want to encounter inside the zone. When we finally reached the rooftop, I watched everyone continue taking pictures of everything, and then it dawned on me.
So this is Pripyat.
Maybe people simply need to see horrible places through a camera lens. Perhaps the picture itself was beyond the point. It's actually not so much about how we present ourselves to the world in these pictures. It's about how we protect ourselves from this world through the lens of a camera. When you trivialize things through a camera lens, you distance yourself from the reality, making reality easier to accept. I looked out over the vacant city and wondered just how many actual memories were lost through the eyes of a camera lens.